Of International Relations and Cooperation, Linidwe Sisulu, says she does not believe the departure of President Cyril Ramaphosa from the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting will be damaging to South Africa in the eyes of investors. The President cut short his visit to the UK, missing the second and last day of the Commonwealth meeting in London. Minister Sisulu will stand in for the President at a retreat hosted by Britain's Queen Elizabeth II at Windsor Castle. Our reporter, Catherine Drew, caught up with the Minister at a breakfast briefing and asked her firstly why the President had felt it necessary to return to handle protest in the northwest himself and whether Premier Supra Mahumapelo would be removed.
The reasons why the President took a very quick decision to leave is because Botswana had closed its borders with South Africa. Now that is no longer a national matter. It is now, an international matter. It involves our international borders. So he felt the most important thing was to go there, understand the situation, see what he can do about the situation to calm it down. So that would probably be the kind of thing he would be best able to respond. When he left, we had very scant information, but the most disturbing one was that there was, unhealthy violence in Northwest, and that this had affected the borders with Botswana. The Tswana people are a very benign people. By the time they take to closing their borders, they must have been very worried.
And Minister, do you think this is...
So, can I finish this? So the President's first instinct was to go and get together the big six, so top six of the ANC, understand the situation better, and he's probably headed off to Northwest now to see what can be done and try to bring calm around that particular area. The future of the Premier and all of those things, of course, will be dependent on the discussions when he gets home.
Minister, how damaging do you think the President's early departure from the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting is?
No, it hasn't been damaging at all. The reason why we have Ministers of Foreign Affairs or International Relations is to stand in when the President is not there. So it is a seamless shift from himself to myself. The content is very much the same. And he was not the only President who was not there. So I don't think that the damage is as much as perhaps we might perceive it.
But what about investors? Do you think it damages South Africa's reputation with them?
Investors will be saying this is a very proactive President who sees a problem and leaves what he's doing to go and attend to it. I think it was the right thing to do.
So how would you say the week has gone, particularly the President's message about investment in South Africa?
He went into great detail about what it is that we're doing to create an environment where investors can feel safe, where they can find that South Africa is a country of choice for their investment. And he detailed all those matters that he's been talking about, anti-corruption being one of them, restructuring government in such a way that we are able to deal with matters that affect us very negatively, like crime, and all of those matters. He was very open. His speech was fairly long, but he, as I say, it was very well received. He had all the heads of industry. He had Bill Gates sitting next to him. And I think for him to have attracted that kind of people to his dinner was very good. Very good for us, very good for our economy, very good for the message that South Africa is sending, that we have a new era now, and we are determined to ensure that we deal with that lasting vestige of apartheid, which is poverty, especially of the black people. He did touch on the issue of land. He did assure our investors that we're dealing with this matter through Parliament, and it is a very measured way of dealing with it. Everybody will have the opportunity to speak and express themselves. We're in no hurry to take land tomorrow, but we want to make sure that ultimately justice is done. He did indicate that land is an indicator of how far we are in giving justice back to our people. That the matter of land is in our constitution, and it needed to be attended to, and this is as good a time as any.